معرفة.
Now, let us cover the Sukuk market outlook. In 2023, the Sukuk market saw robust growth with total issuance volumes reaching around $168 billion. Now, the growth has achieved despite challenges such as there was tighter liquidity condition in Saudi Arabia and the lower fiscal deficit in Indonesia. So what I'm trying to say is that there has been a very regular growth in the Sukuk issuances year on year. Now, the issuance of foreign currency denominated Sukuk helped mitigate these challenges, right? The decline in Sukuk issuance in 2023 was largely due to the tighter liquidity in Saudi Arabia banking system. And it was also because the Indonesia's reduced fiscal deficit. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 program played a key role in stimulating the Sukuk issuance in 2023 and is expected to continue in 2024. So what we have seen even in 2024, we have seen the growth as it was expected. This year, because of the international multiple factors, we have seen a little bit dip in the issuance volumes. We all know how the international bond markets are behaving currently, and because of multiple factors, and that is one of the reasons why this quarter was a bit slow in terms of the Sukuk volume issuances. As of now, the total outstanding Sukuk volume is somewhere around $900 billion. Okay, by some estimates, we have already reached $1 trillion. So meaning to say that as of now, the volume of the outstanding Sukuk volume is around $1 trillion. And as earlier we have discussed that the outstanding bond market is around $100 trillion. So in a way, the Sukuk comprises of around 1% of the total volume of the conventional bond issuances. So Sukuk is 1%, meaning to say if Sukuk is $1 trillion outstanding, bond is 100 trillion, so we are 1%. So from a figurative point of view, if you want to make an image in your mind, you can imagine a football pitch, right? And in that football pitch, just imagine that there are 5 football placed in that pitch. The size which that 5 football covers is the volume of the Sukuk, and the whole size of the football field is the volume of the bond market. This is a rough estimation which I have done by taking the size of the football pitch, so that figuratively it becomes more clearer that where the Sukuk market is as of today. 2025 first quarter has challenges coming to the industry through 2-3 directions. One is of course because of the recent tariffs and other issues, the bond markets have been impacted severely. So there has been jerks in the issuances of the Sukuk. At the same time, there have been a lot of caution from the issuers with regards to the standard 62, which has come from the IOF and which becomes implemented by next month. So some of the provisions of these standards which require the asset ownership transfer, title ownership transfer, that has become a little bit challenging for the industry, and that is also a reason why there is a bit of a precaution and a bit of a concern in the market which is currently we are seeing. Let's look at the growth factors. Now growth factors, the 2-3 are important geographies where, now one is the GCC, where we have seen a lot of issuances both from the sovereigns and the corporates. The other is Malaysia. We are also seeing a lot of issuances coming out of from Indonesia and some from different parts of the world as well. As we said, the issuances from Saudi Arabia has contributed immensely because of their very bold Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030. UAE perspective, we have also seen a lot of issuances coming on the sustainable Sukuk as well because of the COP28 commitment of the UAE. The market, as I'm saying, has been growing, not just in the Middle East but also in Asia. At the same time, there are challenges which are multifaceted also coming. But as we realize, finance is a need, right? It's a need of issuers, whether they are corporates or whether they are sovereigns. And capital markets is a very robust platform where liquidity could be raised. So going forward, more issuances coming in. Of course, there are some challenges, but these challenges will have to be addressed in either ways, because at the end of the day, these markets in these part of the world are on a growth phase, and we will surely see much more issuances coming, both in the form of US dollar denominated and also in the local currency issuances. And we have seen also a lot of growth in the local currency issuances in various geographies, be it in Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, UAE, from a local currency perspective, Indonesia, and from a dollar perspective also we have seen a lot of issuances at the RFP stage, at a discussion stage, okay, happening both with the corporates and the sovereigns. There is also a substantial, as I was saying, growth in the sustainable Sukuk market because of the commitment the governments or the corporates have with regards to sustainability. And there are a lot of Sukuks which have being discussed, issued, or will be issued going forward, which are sustainable in nature or sustainable linked as well. These corporates and the sovereigns want to align themselves with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and that would, at the same time, the appetite from the investors also is asking and requiring for sustainable Sukuk. And we have seen both the trends from the investors and the issuers towards it. And if you look at the global trends on the sustainable Sukuks, we have seen a substantial growth in that. Just in 2024, the global sustainable bond issuances hit $235 billion, with sustainable Sukuk contributing $4 billion, meaning to say there has been a 17% year-on-year increase. And when you look at 2023, the sustainable Sukuk issuance totaled around $13 billion from $9 billion in 2022. So there was also, so year on year we see the volume of the sustainable Sukuk issuance has been increasing, and we will continue to see this growth going forward as well in 2025 and going forward further to that. From the GCC perspective, now GCC banks accounted for 80% of the sustainable Sukuk issuances, climate transition efforts. And in 2024, there has also been, the aim was to reach between 10 billion to 12 billion, right? And assuming no major net zero policy shifts or regulatory changes. And most of these aims or the objectives on the sustainabilities, they are being achieved, and good plans in terms of future, how they want to increase the sustainable Sukuk issuance going forward. Thank you.
معرفة.